Okay, Missy, you ready? All right, we are down here for our week 3 final video recap. I've got Miss Poppy, she is ready to go. So for this week, what we're gonna do is get our puppies dressed in their harnesses kind of right off the bat here. Where are you? Come here. Good girl. I should have had this ready to go beforehand. Hang on, Poppy. So we're gonna add in a leash to the harness. All right, let's start by just charging the clicker a couple reps here. Oh my God, Poppy's in her crate. Look at this cute puppy. Look at you. Good girl. Come on. Okay. Good girl. You taking a little relax in there? Yeah. Good job, Poppy. Good girl. Okay. Now I've got the harness on, or the leash on the harness. Now we're ready. Come here, Missy. Let's get Poppy dressed. Let's see, this is the extra small. See how this is fitting you today, Missy. Extra still might be slightly large, but that's okay. All right, so with the leash on, good girl. I charged the clicker a couple of times. We're gonna do a little bit of the flying cookie game like we did last week. So she's just dragging the leash, getting used to it. Okay. Poppy. Good girl. Get it. Poppy. Perfect. Get it. Poppy. Very nice. Good girl. And she is unfazed by the leash, so let's move into following a food lure. Now I'm gonna pick up that leash. See that? Wow, good girl, Poppy. And this is how we can get our puppies used to being on a leash. Okay, so I'm just doing what we've been doing the last few weeks. Having Poppy follow the food lure. Good girl. Okay, go get it. Except this time she's connected to me with the leash and the harness. You can see that she's kind of interested in the leash, right? And that's why we do this with following the food lure. Good girl, Poppy. Okay, get it. So that way they don't start to like bite at the leash. Good girl. Yeah, very nice. Beautiful. Poppy. Good dog. All right, let's take this off you for now. You can kind of see how we're starting to put everything together. So you can keep practicing with the leash and the harness at home, even inside the house, up and down a hallway or whatever you got. Following the food lure. Let's do some of our hand targets. Poppy touch. Good girl. Poppy touch. You're so smart. Let's do some position changes. Sit. Wow, such a good puppy. Okay. Poppy, sit. Beautiful. That one turned into crumbs. Go get it. Let's do our downs. Sit, down. Wow. What a good girl. Okay. Do it this way. Poppy, sit, down. Very good job. Okay. Look at this smart puppy. All right, let's do a few reps of the mat. She did so good on her leash and harness. Poppy, where's your mat? Good girl. This week, in week 3, we start to add a little movement from ourselves. So you can see how I'm moving away from Poppy on her mat. So if a stay behavior is important to you at home, not sure what happened over here. These puppies must have been chewing on the mat. I recommend that when you're not practicing with the mat, that you pick it up and put it away. So that way your puppy doesn't think that when you're not working on it, it's a toy and they chew a hole in it. Must have just been down when all the puppies were out and playing. Good girl. Okay. Yeah, you can leave now. You can leave now. Okay. Good girl. These puppies get very magnetized to their mat. Do you see how even after the release cookie, Poppy wants to go back over to it? Let's do that one more time. Little longer duration with a little bit of distance. Ready? Where's your mat? Good girl. Sorry, that was my fault. Here it is. So if a stay type behavior is very important to you, you will need to keep practicing this one at home. I really like to utilize the mat with my dogs when I'm eating dinner. So I might put the mat down somewhat close to me to start when they're young. And I might have like a bowl of their food or their treats or whatever. And periodically as I'm eating, I might just I won't even use the clicker anymore. I'll just set a piece down for the dog staying there. And as they get more mature and they understand the behavior, you can start to move the mat further and further away from you so that they have their own space that they're chilling in while you're eating. That's a nice application for it. Okay. Good girl, Poppy. You are so smart. So you can see we're getting some longer duration of her holding her down, staying on the mat, and also I'm starting to get some distance from her. So again, super important that you keep practicing that at home if you want that to be, you know, a skill that your dog is good at. All right. She already ran into the crate at the beginning here, but let's do some more. Ready? Poppy. Kendall. Oh, did I scare you with the door? Sorry. There you go. Good girl. Perfect. So another little step that we can add to our crate games, right? This is what we were doing last week. But we can actually close the door to the crate. And I might click and drop a piece of food in there. Okay. You can like walk away a little bit. And then when I come back and I open up that door, I can click and feed the puppy for staying in until I say, okay, and give him that release. Oh, there's still one left in there. Kennel. Good girl, Poppy. Very good girl. Right there, by your foot. So I'm feeding the dog for closing the kennel door on them. Maybe walking away a little bit. Coming back. Ooh, somebody dropped something upstairs. Marking and feeding for them staying inside. Okay, until I release them with that okay. Do you hear that? Oh, she's sniffing my jacket on the ground. Do you want to try one more? Kennel. Wow, look at you. Good girl. Oh, that one fell out. There you go. Here. It's in there, little turkey. She found it. Good girl. Okay. All right, I'm going to close that back up again. Just so she doesn't put herself back in there. They love their crates so much now. Good girl, Poppy. Touch. Very nice. Good girl. All right, let's do a new handling exercise. So we've done some basic restraint and handling body parts. Week 1, week 2 showed you how to introduce, different types of grooming tools. For week 3, same thing, new type of grooming tool, but this is a noisy grooming tool. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some food, and I have clipper blades. Don't worry, I'm not gonna give your puppy a funny haircut. I want to get the dog used to the sound of the clipper blade so it's not scary the first time they have to go to the groomer, right? So I'm going to turn them on, and once they're on, then I'm going to drop some cookies on the ground. Okay? And the puppy can come investigate. The food is dropped on the ground only while the clippers are on. These are loud. Good girl. I'm going to let her finish eating. I scattered maybe 3 or 4 cookies on the ground, and then I'm going to turn them off. So there's no food happening when the clipper blades are off. You're so very brave. That wasn't scary at all, was it? So I like to try to give, somewhere between 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds in between turning on the clipper blades. Again, because I want to make sure the dog is really associating the fact that the food is coming out with the sound of the clipper blades. And if I do that too close together, turn it off and then turn it right back on right away, then she might not be making that distinct association, right? So a little time has passed. Let's try it again. Clipper blades turn on first, and then I just start to drop some food on the ground, maybe 3-4 pieces. Again, I want her to investigate the clipper blades if she wants to. It's totally fine. I'm gonna let her finish what I've put on the ground, and then we might just do that one more time. There you go. Good girl. Get that crumb. Great. Oh, it's making a funny noise. All right, so turn them off again for another few seconds. And she can investigate them when they're off too, right? But there's no food happening when they're off. Poppy is very outgoing. She's super curious in the clipper blades. That's great. And so I'm just kind of dropping the food where she is. If she was, we'll see how the other puppies do. If she was a little bit hesitant, she wanted to be over here, then I would just drop the food over here. This exercise isn't necessarily about the dog interacting with the clipper blades. More just you hear the sound and something good happens. The treats happen to build the confidence in the puppy, okay? Let's do that one more time. Turn it on. And then we start to drop the food. Oh, that one went far. Yeah, good girl. And what I want to see happen is that just this sound of the clipper blades isn't scary at all to the dog, right? And then separately, you could also do like we did. Poppy's still in the game. She's still hungry. She still wants to eat. So last week, what we did with the nail clippers, we pet her with the nail clip. You could do the same thing with the clipper blades. Initially, I'll start with them off. Yes, good girl. Yes. And then maybe you could try it with them on. Yes. Yes. All right, so if you don't have clipper blades at home, it's not like you have to, and you don't plan on grooming your dog yourself, you're going to take them to a groomer. You don't have to go out and buy clipper blades. You can use anything that kind of makes this kind of a sound. I will often use an electric toothbrush inside of a Ziploc plastic baggie, so I'm not putting my toothbrush all over the dog. But you can get the same sort of effect from that. All right, so that was everything for week 3. Showed you the new stuff that we practiced this week. Went over all of our previous exercises. If you guys haven't got your Zoom lesson booked yet, make sure you get that done. Any questions, shoot us an email. But Poppy's going home this weekend.